Okay, if they're out here. Why don't you call him? That guy has an orange shirt. Where? Just an orange shirt on his. Oh, right, straight ahead, right there.
Paul? Oh, hi. How
Hello.
are you? We all know you so well now.
Oh, so close.
No, no.
Good morning. How's everyone doing?
Great.
Cool. I'm Greg.
Hey, Greg.
Greg, yes. There's also another Greg, so if you want to leave a review later, Greg, yes. Where you guys are Florida, DC, Houston,
Nevada.
Nevada. And where you guys from?
Philly.
Philly. Welcome. Who has anyone not been? Who has not been to Arlington? All right. Cool. Welcome. So the tour is about 2.5 hours. Starting a little late, so if you guys are cool with going till 12:30 instead of 12:15, I can fit the whole. You guys cool with that?
Yeah, sounds good.
It's a nice day for stroll.
Yeah.
Lived here all my life, native Washingtonian. Before this, I was an accountant, and I was retired about 4 or 5 years ago, and I've been doing these tours like 3 years. So I do mall tours, I do these. DC by Foot's a great company. It's owned by 2 women. So, and again, if you'd like to leave a review, we got bumped way down a few years ago by Google because the algorithm got all messed up. So we're trying to work our way back up to the top. So I don't know. I know some of you are fire tourists, some are getting your guide. So it's all helpful. So we're going to be walking. We're going to start. I'll narrate as we talk. Questions along the way, ask them anytime. Happy to take photos wherever you guys want. A couple things going on in DC this weekend. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Tonight is the dress rehearsal for the National Symphony Orchestra on the west lawn of the Capitol. Tomorrow's the main concert, but the dress rehearsal is kind of cool. It's not as crowded. Tomorrow, and that's at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow at noon is the Ride to Remember. If I'm ever in town, which on and off I am, I'd love to go to that. The motorcycles ride from the Pentagon, they ride all the way down Constitution Avenue, 4th Street. There's a lot of veterans there, but now it's open to anyone. I kind of just hang on the curb. Sometimes I give them high fives. There's a lot of guys, veterans, especially Vietnam veterans, who when they came back, they didn't have anything. And they're kind of like, you see like, a lot of times you'll see people crying when they're riding their bike. They're like, this is the parade I never had. And then Monday is at 2 o'clock is the Memorial Day Parade down Constitution Avenue, 7th to 17th Street. This is also, I rode my bike here, I went by the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. This is probably the most packed weekend for that. A lot of veterans there. So if you get a chance, you go by there. You see the veterans, just say thank you for your service. Because a lot of them didn't get that when they came back. The Vietnam vet. So, and they're kind of like, wow, thank you so much. So, yeah. I've always loved DC, and so I've done a lot of reading. Whiteboard, and they gave me a script of you know, the mall area and whatnot. Arlington, I've kind of learned on my own, and probably almost every tour I get a question that I can't answer. I'm like, thanks. So I learned something new. Arlington is 629 acres. Over 4,000 service members buried here. They're actually doing an expansion because they're going to run out of room in 2041. They're building 50 more acres over by the Air Force Memorial, which I can show you later. Even with those additional 50 acres, it's going to be full probably around the year 2061. So, not sure what they're going to do after that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, you can get very here if you're killed in action, if you're a veteran, and if you're a POW that died after November, I think it was 98, then you can get to Any veteran. Yep. Anyone who served active duty.
und an sie denken tue ich schon, aber wir waren eben so im Erzählen.
Talk a little bit about this guy, William Windrich, Medal of Honor recipient. So you can see the Medal of Honor. There's 3 types of Medal of Honors. It's Army, Marine, and Coast Guard has one, and then the Air Force has one, and then the Navy has one. So there's 3 different types of medals. He was a Korean veteran. He was leading his platoon in Korea. Had a grenade hit him in the helmet, shattered his helmet. So he's bleeding. Meanwhile, he's still commanding his troops. Then he got shot in the leg. So now he's crawling on the ground, commanding his troops. And he finally succumbed. A, to blood loss, and B, pretty cold. You can see he died on December 2nd. It was really cold in Korea. That's how he got his Medal of Honor, right over Chosun Reservoir. We also see pennies on top of his grave. So a lot of times people put coins on top of the graves. Penny is just your saying hello to that person. A nickel, you see a nickel means you served in boot camp with that person. A dime means you served in combat with that person. And you see a quarter, that means the person who put that quarter there was with that individual when the individual died. So yeah, not too many quarters, but a lot of pennies. The rocks are a Jewish symbol of remembrance. So you'll see some Jewish rocks. You'll see some Jewish stones on top of the grave. You'll see the emblems. So the cross is Christian. There's 57 different emblems for the military. So you'll see a cross. Sometimes you'll see a cross with a circle around it, which I believe is either Episcopalian or Presbyterian. But yeah, stars. So all kinds of different symbols that we're walking through. Questions? Why is it coins? Good question. I'm going to figure that out for you. Thank you. See, I'm learning something.
Oh, I have another question.
Yes.
There's a stone over here that says the wife of a second lieutenant. Then there's one on the over here that says a wife. What?
So, wives can be buried here.
Of anyone or a certain rank?
No, anyone.
Anyone? Okay.
However, if you're divorced, you can't get buried here. But if your wife dies and you remarry, both wives can be buried here. And I know there's one on our walk. I'll try to point it out to you, but it's like so-and-so, his wife, blah, his wife, blah. So there's 2 triple decker. Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that. So yeah,
So,
this one says the back.
let's see.
But this one over here, there's 2 is the wife of second lieutenant, Porter, Potter.
I have stuff for you so you don't get bored.
But this one's on the back.
Because you don't want to listen to me talk. There you go.
This is this one and this.
And actually, yeah, we can keep walking. So actually, you see the flags now right around Christmas season. They have wreaths in front of every grave. I like to find. it's through an organization called Wreaths Across America. So they do cemeteries all over the country. Public can come here and lay the wreaths. I haven't been here to lay them, but I have been here to clean them up. So people ride the metro, the subway. If you see someone on the metro with a broomstick, that means they're definitely coming here, because you can hold one end of the broomstick, I can hold the other, you can fit about 20 pieces on them. So you put your wreaths on the broomstick. They have dumpsters all over the place. You put them in the dumpster. They mulch them, so you see all the mulch around the trees. Some of that's from the wreaths. Wow. Cyclone things out. Okay.
Right there, this one here is the Kennedys. This one here is the Kennedys. There are many things, right? And we can, on the way back, we can go on this one.
I'm on the border here. So that's Arlington House. We're going to walk up there. I can talk a little bit about that when we're up there. You see the flag? There's no funeral today. If there was a funeral, that flag would be at half staff. Normally on Saturday, there's 15 to 20 funerals. During the weekdays, there's 20 to 30 every day. Probably not now, crazy, due to the busyness and yeah. So that spot, someone's eventually going to get buried there. But they're all reserved, for lack of a better word. So, you had the coin question. So it actually says the tradition stems from the ancient practices of paying burial. And it started Continue. I'm not even going to say anything. Supreme Court justices actually buried. Here, I'm just gonna. There. Sorry. So there's several justices here. William O. Douglas, and then Hyman Rickover, 4-star general. Warren Burger, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Her husband was in the military. So here you see some stones. They were Jewish, but you also see some pennies, a dime, and a nickel. So Thurgood Marshall,
General,
Harry Blackman. Alright, let's walk back the way we came. We can tell a little bit about the Kennedy grave sites. While we're walking, and I like to talk and react to actual grave site. John Kennedy visited Arlington in March 1963, and we can just walk over this. He stood right at the Arlington House. A magnificent view from there. Quite exactly what he said. How to get up there. Thank you. So John Kennedy, Jackie, Joe Kennedy is not buried here. They never found the remains of his body. So his headstone says in memory of. He was, I believe he was in the Navy or the Air Force. He was flying a plane filled with explosives. They were supposed to bail out of the plane and let the plane hit the Germans or the Japanese. Everything exploded before they got out. So they never found him. He was supposed to be the Kennedy, but unfortunately died. I believe he was 29 years old when he died. John Kennedy, the eternal flame and the grave sites are right up there, and I can just wait here for 5-10 minutes, and you guys can pay your respects.
So,
Yes. Active duty. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Neil Diamond sings it on Caroline.
Is the POW MIA flag, is it always flying or is it just for this weekend? Always.
So it always flies here. It's World War II Memorial, it's Capitol Building, and the White House.
Okay.
As a four that I can think of offhand, that was POW. Well, Vietnam Veterans Memorial,
Yeah.
Korean War.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys good? All right, good. Head over this way.
Because they're self-sufficient. Probably not. But so much of DC's funding is just tied into federal things. Like they just cut.
Great stuff.
It's so absurd. Right. Which it's the same in other states as well. Yeah, the shape feels nice. I got water. Yeah.
You know me. Kennedy who passed away last year is buried there. Some quotes from Robert. Cross over there, which we'll walk by, is Ted Kennedy, and then the other one is Joe.
Still, yeah. most recently. Yeah.
Why are there some sections where the tombstones are not the standard? Yeah, they're different sizes and shapes versus the rows of all the ones that are the same.
Thank you for that, because I was thinking up there, I gotta tell them about this. So when Arlington was first started, there were 13 sections where you could have private memorials. So these larger stones are private memorials. They're paid for by the family. 13 sections with a private memorial filled up several years ago. So there's no more private memorials like this. They're all going to be a simple white stone. Yes, they're made out of Vermont granite. They're all from Vermont. Yes. Yes. So that guy might have been a doctor. That guy was probably in the Navy. It looks like, yeah. So yeah, they can put whatever they want on the private memorial. Here's one, someone's spouse, Mary Elizabeth. Not sure who the other guy is on the service member. Frank Lautenberg, who was a senator from New Jersey. There are, and we can keep walking. In the U.S. military, there's 9 five-star individuals that got 5-star. 5 of them are buried here. So let me. Omar Bradley's buried here. William Leahy, William Halsey.
Unless you want to hold it.
Might have to look at my Henry Arnold, also known as Cap Arnold. These 3 here, these 3 small tombstones are some of the original ones. So you can see how they're a little different than the other ones. That one's probably Civil War. So the Civil War has the
His
most
family owned this.
bracelet here than any other war.
Decided to go fight for
Yeah.
the South.
Is it members from both the Confederacy and the Union?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. You see the middle one? That was, he was born 1882. And then Harry Park, Medal of Honor recipient. Yeah, a lot of the Civil War are buried up by Arlington House. That was the first part of the cemetery. I can chat a little bit about Arlington House. A guy named John Park Custis built Arlington House. He was the daughter of Mary Custis and the son of Mary Custis and the stepson of George Washington. Built Arlington House between 1802 and 1818. When he died, his son, George Washington Park Custis, inherited Arlington House. George Washington Park Custis had a daughter named Mary, who was married to Robert E. Lee. So Mary Custis and Robert E. Lee lived there for a while. George Washington appointed Robert general of the Federal Army. In 1861, about a month later, Lee resigned. His reasoning was he didn't want to fight against his own people. He was born in Stratford Hall, Virginia. He didn't want to fight against the Confederacy. So he watch the car. He resigned as the Federal Army general and became the general of the Confederacy. In 1861, Robert E. Lee and Mary Custis left Arlington House. The Army took it over. You'll see from the view, you can kind of see it here. Great view of DC for defense purposes, and actually that building right over there, that low one with the square windows, is the Pentagon building. Now that I'm talking about military stuff. So Robert E. Lee became an Army installation about 1864. People around all the soldiers who were dying around DC during the Civil War, they didn't have any place to bury them. So a guy named Montgomery Meade, who was the quartermaster general of the Army, said, let's start burying him at Arlington Cemetery. So 20 acres right around here is the first burial for Arlington Cemetery. And now it's expanded to 129, give or take, acres.
And I was like, also, we're in an Uber right now. We're the ones in the Uber. And he said, but people don't realize, because it is confusing. Anyways, these people like
I know.
push
What
the limit
we should
just
ask what the
push
dollar
the
sign
limit.
is.
Because you pull into the parking lot in the middle of the night and they're like, what are you doing? Yeah, and they're going to contract you.
Yeah. Oh. I don't know. Yeah. Where was that? Oh. Oh. Yeah. Lake maybe? Going around?
Yeah, I saw the date. I saw the date in your head.
In Boston. Let's go to the right here. Pardon me? No, I think it's open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So these are some real old ones. These are like Civil War.
I did.
1864. So this is the
Admiral Lincoln.
oldest part of the cemetery. Actually, also buried here a lot of when George Washington Parke Custis and John Parke Custis owned this. It was a plantation, so it was about 1,000 acres. And there's a lot of slaves buried kind of over that way. Yeah. These are all really, really old Civil War graves. Go right up. It's only 3 spires in commemoration of the missing man formation. So a lot of times, if the jets fly over there, if you will want to feel in remembrance of the fallen soldiers.
No, I just was getting really hot because I had the jacket on.
Yes, I do. I'm older than you. Yeah.
This is my first time to Washington, so we would have been together someplace else.
Yeah, but this is
That was prime date at that time too.
I know. But I've never been to Washington, D.C.
Because they can see it.
Arlington House, you go in there. If you need a restroom, there's a restroom down this path here. I can show you if anyone needs a restroom. I can kind of guide you to that. But yeah, can be back here around 11. Yeah. And I'm happy to take photos if anyone wants photos. Oh, this is Pierre L'Enfant. So Pierre L'Enfant designed the city of Washington.
Oh.
So if you notice the street bridge, all the north-south streets are numbered. all the east-west streets begin with letters. So that's kind of how and then you got the crazy avenues with the traffic circles and everything. So there's actually his original map is right over there. It ends in an area called Florida Avenue, the original DC, because if you look, you can see a hill starts over there. This is all sea level. Back when he was designing it, it was all horses. So he didn't want to have the horses have to climb up the hill, so he stopped it right at Florida Avenue.
Wow.
Yeah. Of course, now it's greatly expanded.
Your talking about Thunderbirds actually just sold them last week.
Oh, really? Where? Okay.
They're going like a tour around.
Okay, because I know the Blue Angels are. I think they come here for the Navy's graduation every year.
Oh, that's cool.
So they fly in there to
Makes
Annapolis.
sense.
So I got to see when that is.
Thank you.
Because now that I have the opportunity to
Thank you. Great. Beautiful day.
In fact.
Yeah. Looks like, can I have this?
And if your legs or knees pay the price, everyone is going to put that to do the same. And Mr. Custis, when he built the house, land and slave rich, cash poor. So he didn't want to spend a lot of money on the construction of the house. So he knew everyone down in Washington would see the portico here and be impressed. And he figured nobody down there cares about the steps here. So he actually built wood steps right there on the original house. And there they are.
Really?
Yeah. So
How often do they replace them?
with some frequency. Yeah. I mean, and they're steep and they're just difficult.
Yeah, that's what I noticed, the steep.
Yeah. Welcome.
I like that.
Thank you.
Is it 360?
This one's just recording for you, but you can.
Nice.
tour, and I used to spend all day on a Sunday morning.
The house here that was in May of 1861, when the Lees fled, he to take up the military command of the Virginia forces in the rebellion against the United States. The following morning, after Virginia voted to secede, 14,000 American troops came across the river from Washington over Long Bridge and occupied these 1,000 acres that had belonged to the Lees, Arlington Heights, for pretty obvious strategic reasons. This was the first offensive move by the Union Army and Civil War to take this property and to secure what had very brief amount of time here. I think that element about the work of their proposed 100,000 Union soldiers
There's an arithmetic room on that side for the kids.
It's so interesting.
It's pretty big. I think someone tried to sit on that marble behind you.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, that book doesn't look like it's from the 1800s. Oh, thank you.
No problem.
Well, I mean, if they get lost, all they have to do is make sure they're buddies.
We all remember seeing
I don't want to hear your comment. I want to hear your move.
because we wanted the first prime minister of Iraq to be our guy. So they went out to all those tribes, which are in the middle of nowhere, and they passed out that money to make sure they all voted our way.
Did you find water? Of you? Yes.
Do you want pictures, bro?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Unless you do.
I'll take a couple. 1, 2, 3.
Come on.
1, 2,
But I don't want to burn. So
Let me know what you
I'd
think.
rather
Carry
be.
anything?
Thank you.
Anyone else?
And you have your plants on so the air can
Right.
There's on the side, right?
No. It's a pocket.
1, 2, 3. Let me know what you think. And then the Kennedy grave site is right below us. Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
What was he saying?
He was saying that so from down there, people would look up and think there's an impressive house, and he even like put wooden stairs because he didn't think anyone would ever come up and.
Oh.
So it's more of a
Interesting.
because he didn't want to spend money on lavishness, but these gave the impression that.
Yeah, and actually it's all like bricks.
Yeah.
And it's covered with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because this was too expensive for the Lees, even for George Washington's family. I guess it was a little pricey. Got it?
Unless you want one. 1 second, let me get this.
Okay. 10 Mr. About
How's your
let's see,
camera
about
work?
DC in general.
Is that like a 360 thing? Or
Yeah, but
forward?
I picked just the forward. But yeah, you can do different settings. It just,
What is
I
it?
didn't know there
What
were.
kind of camera is it?
One of the things is there's 50
Oh,
That's the brand.
360.
religious symbols that can be on the grade, so I didn't know that.
Do you post it somewhere, or do you have a
yeah,
page?
I mean, you could. I do.
Or you
I do
just
have
do
a
it
page.
yourself?
I upload it to YouTube.
Probably.
So
Okay.
if you want any of the tours from today,
Yeah.
you can replay it.
Do other stuff?
I do a 9 to 5.
Okay.
Haven't really taken off or anything. It's just a hobby.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Memorial. And then
How about you guys?
were killed trying to
No,
rescue the hostages. There's
we don't do any of that
memorial
stuff,
there,
but
there.
I'm
And
always
that's not who
intrigued.
was
We had
on either
dreams of
Columbia
it.
or Challenge.
Nice.
We're all
Well,
great.
We're trying to hit up to the 50
She was a
states.
member of the
But right now we're just here
Whoa.
visiting our daughter.
do you do it by
Which isn't one of the
like
57
a
approved
van,
emblems
like
We've
a
done-
We're doing it
RV?
one at a
Gave her an
time.
exception,
And we
so
spent about
she's the only one in
2
the
to 2.5 weeks in each
cemetery
state, so it's
with
not.
that
That's
universal
awesome.
symbol.
So we've done
Shut emblem.
vans, like in Oklahoma, we did a van, and we're doing the states as they
I'm
join the Union 50,
sure
doing like a
if
count
it's
of
an
50.
official
So-
symbol.
Wow, that's
So it takes a long
cool.
time because
Yeah,
you're
I've
in
been able
the
to
states so long, so
find
you can
one
only,
of
in
those.
summers,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
the time to really do it.
The
For a
heat.
while, work got in the way too.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
So,
One, two,
Yeah.
three,
it's
four,
funny how that
So-
happens.
Trying to do
Yeah,
some-
what's
Cool.
this work thing you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe someday videos will get enough traffic where they're like, hey, do you want a couple cents for each ad? I'd be like, sure, I guess.
Well, we'll click on your.
Yeah, you're welcome to.
What was the name of it again?
It's the letter P, and then number 2, and then productions.
P2 production. Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds official. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll remember that.
And I have a, like a little code a QR code you can scan if you have a camera, but they have those everywhere now. The little QR codes.
Yeah. P2 production. We're on it.
Fun, yeah.
We brought the URL. 50 states over 50.
Yeah.
50, but take the whole. It was just so much work.
I know.
It's a job.
Well, you could
It is
still
a job.
sit on it.
If you got the clicks on the page, then it would be worthwhile.
Right. See, that's the balance. So,
Yeah.
well, so this does like the 360.
Maybe like
But
this happened.
what I
Editing
found,
of it.
yeah. So I might, do either way. I might do 360, or I might just do the straight shot forward. But it's nice to have options. Yeah. And but yeah, it's so funny. You could do the traveling and even the capture, but then there's so much like you have to do on the backside with the branding, like you were doing. But did you purchase it?
I did. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I would just keep it.
Yeah.
It's an option. That's so cool.
So that's what our Instagram is.
Oh, I would love to follow you.
Oh, you can look at it.
Sure.
It's 50 states after 50.
Okay.
And Instagram is the number and Facebook is the words. So they're kind of the same thing. So if you do anything more, it's
Yeah.
50.
I'll follow you both. You got a new follower.
Oh yeah. Well, all we offer is if you ever want to go to that state, it's a good idea.
Is it this one, sir?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Very good, thank you. Normally, it is one of our colleagues to check tickets.
Montana and the Dakota. Based on like three states. So like when we were just in Washington State was the last one we were at. So like we would do like the San Juan Islands and things. So you're like taking ferries and it's not like the most popular.
Yeah, we do.
You know, we do the popular things, but we try to do like
Oh yeah, off the beaten trail.
and we
Well,
try
that's
to-
cool.
We try to stay in tents and then the best resorts too. So we do the
That's
$19 a
awesome,
night
yeah.
and the
Well, you
$800 a night.
you help your demographic, right? People are like, well, I want something where a good shower, or someone's like, hey, I don't, I have time, but I don't have money. That's so cool.
So they named it after him. We can just walk. We can walk down here and get him.
great site.
Oh. We just ended up doing Facebook.
Yeah,
and
it's
Instagram.
wonderful.
It's interesting how it takes up a lot of time.
It really does. It's amazing.
What was this?
So, do you have the domain through like GoDaddy or a different? You can do masking. So if someone types in your .com, it just forwards to your Instagram or forwards to, and it's free. It's free with the price. So I know they have a help, a step-by-step. So if you just look in masking,
But there's
you could still activate your .com. So people are like, oh, you got a .com. They type it in, and it goes right to their Instagram. Sometimes it's a little trick. Here's,
the soldiers live right over. That's all. Yeah, well, we do. Kind of on just on the border of the cemetery over that way. So a little bit about the changing of the guard while we're walking along here. Changing of the guard, and I'd like to kind of go to one particular place. There's 18 individuals that are on a rotation. So they're 24 hours on, 24 hours off, 24 hours on, 24 hours off for 5 days. Then they get 4 days off. There's actually 7 women sentinels. So women, just in the last probably 10 or 15 years, women are also. Anyone in the 3rd Infantry can become a sentinel. All you have to do is knock on the door. I can show you where they hang out between their shift and apply. It takes about 8 months to become a sentinel. You have to do a lot of testing. You have to memorize a lot of facts about the cemetery. Most of the individuals who are sentinels are there for 18 months or 2 years. You can stay for your entire life if you want, but a lot of them leave so they have room for other ones. There's 18 at a time that are on the shift. It Takes them about, so the men have to be between 5'10" and 6'4". The women have to be between 5'8" and 6'2". Even though I know there is one male who's 6'7". So they gave him an exception. Yeah. So when they're marching, they started guarding the tomb in 1926, and they started pacing back and forth in 1948. So you do it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. When the cemetery is closed at night, the trainees go and do the walk, and then get critiqued by real sentinels, for lack of a better word.
It's no matter the weather, like doesn't matter what's going on.
Doesn't matter about the weather. You'll see a little hut off to the side, so if there's a bad thunderstorm with lightning, or if it's a really bad blizzard, the guys can go in the hut. Other than that, they're walking. Yeah.
You said 24 hours at a time, like, but they switch out every 30 minutes?
Yeah, they switch out every 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many will be on a rotation in a day?
There's 18.
Oh, so 18 people switch, okay.
18 people switch
throughout
on
that
and off.
24 hours?
Yeah. Yep. 24 hours on, 24 hours on. Yeah. So there's like, I guess 9 on, 9 off.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
When they're off, are they like back to the base, like still
So
active
some of
duty,
them
or-
go back to the base, some of them they have cots here they can sleep. I mean, for their uniforms, it takes them 4 to 5 hours to get their uniforms ready each time they're walking.
Wow.
Because they have to be spotless. You'll see when so one guy will come out, the relief commander, then another guy will follow him. He'll be the new sentinel. I like to stand on the right because you can see the relief commander. He really checks over the new sentinel's rifle. So he'll go like this with his white gloves, check it for any dirt, and he'll check everything on that rifle. Check the bayonet, he'll check the trigger, check his finger. Then the sentinel will go 21 steps, turn towards the tomb, wait 21 seconds, turn again, 21 seconds, 21 steps, turn, and do that for a half hour. 21 is for the 21 gun salute. Remember the that. He'll always have his rifle between the crowd and the tomb as a sign of protection. Also, the guys who are walking don't have any ranks on their sleeves because they don't want to outrank anyone of the unknown. They don't know what the rank is. Yeah, so there's one big sarcophagus, which is 441. There's 3 small ones. The Vietnam one is actually empty. They exhumed the individual several years ago. They were able to identify him through DNA. So now he's buried at his hometown cemetery, wherever that may be. But the tomb's still there in remembrance of all the other 58,000 men and women who gave their lives to the Vietnam War.
I didn't realize there was actually people inside.
Yeah.
The rest should be 26. I'm not giving you that kind of material. You need a rest with you?
Kind of loop around here, talk about some of these memorials here. That's the map of the USS Maine. Tell a little bit about that.
kid wrist.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony that you are about to witness is an Army wreath laying ceremony to be conducted in honor of the unknown. Thank you. Raise up! Off! Order! Oh! Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? I am Sentinel Maxwell of the 3rd Infantry Regiment, United States Army, Guard of Honor 2 of the Unknown Soldier. The ceremony that you are about to witness is the changing of the guard. In keeping with the dignity of this ceremony, it is requested that everyone remain silent and stand. Thank you. Hold it!